Welcome to the Chronically Well podcast, where we hold real conversations with community that need to be heard. On today's episode, I have the honor of speaking with Khadija. Khadija is someone I reached out to in the community maybe 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago, 2 months ago, sorry. And with this podcast, I did not know much about her. I just knew she was a woman who looked like me from the UK overseas. And I wanted her perspective on living with a chronic health condition or managing a chronic health condition. And I also just wanted to welcome her into the community, welcome her to the family, let her pull up a chair and get comfortable, because I know that for everyone, this is not the same. So I have recorded with multiple people from the UK since I've spoken to you, and I have many more lined up all around the world. So first, might I say thank you, Khadija, for joining with me here on my podcast, on this platform, which belongs to all of us.
No, thank you for having me, Will. Thanks for the introduction. So I'm Khadija Mary, and I'm 29 years old, and I'm from Leeds. So that's West Yorkshire in the north of England. It's not really a known place. I know quite a lot of people, when they hear England, think of London, but
you said West Norchester? What?
West Yorkshire.
Oh,
Sorry, it's my accent.
I no, it's not your accent. It's my ears.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so West Yorkshire, that's in the north of England. It's not too far from Manchester. I'm not too sure if you've heard of that. But yes, I have diabetes, and I've lived with the condition basically all my life.
You've been living with diabetes all of your life, basically.
Yeah.
And you just saying that it's going to have a lot of people up in arms and ears, like, what do they mean? What does she mean by all her life? So Khadija, I do know a bit about you, and I just recently found this out because you did a reintroduction to yourself on Instagram maybe last week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So just let you know.
That's correct.
Just to let you know, there are people that follow you, people that listen to you and want to hear your story, because I did that. I tapped in.
Oh, I appreciate that. No, I appreciate you for watching the video as well, because it took a lot to even get my story out there, because I've been wanting to do it for ages, even like last year. And I was just, again, it's if I don't share this story, no one's gonna, so I need to tell it and basically get the message out there.
And you got it out there. I know that today you're more comfortable with it today than you were yesterday. Every day it's a process, and like no two persons living with diabetes are the same. The way we manage just conversing about it, explaining it to people, all of those things are different. So I would never ever compare what I do as a educator or someone who's gifted resources, or someone who's on this platform hosting a podcast, to anyone else, because this right here is different than everyone else's. So you truly matter. Everyone truly matters. Your story is a story that's unlike most other people in this space. So we're going to tap into that, Khadija, because I think before hearing your story, I did not know. And I actually reached out to multiple other people in the community that I know that are living with the same form of insulin dependence, diabetes that you are.
Oh, wow. That's good.
And do you know other people in this space?
I only know one, and that is through, I'd say, the power of social media. Basically, I came across her video, so she did kind of the similar thing that I did last week with explaining the condition that I was born with, and I reached out to her and said, "Oh my gosh, we've got like the same journey," but literally only one other person I've basically connected with. So yeah.
Okay, and with that being said, Khadija, I've been living with type 1 diabetes for 21 years.
Um,
You have insulin dependent diabetes that you've had probably as far back as you can remember,
yes, yes.
but you do not live with type 1 diabetes.
No, that's correct. So, over in the UK, they will class me as type 1. However, I'm not necessarily a standard type 1 as you've mentioned. So, um, over where you are in the US, they would class me as a type 3C diabetic. So basically, I was made diabetic due to having a pancreatomy. So that's the removal of the pancreas. So I still have about 5% left on my pancreas left. Sorry, 5% of my pancreas left, but obviously it's not enough to survive. So I actually have to administer insulin like manually via an insulin pump at the moment.
And that's due to what I know from severe hypoglycemia as
Yes.
and most people, well, everyone I've ever come across, it was acknowledged when they were either like infants or toddlers.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So what I was born with is a rare condition. I've just got the hang of being able to say it, so please, please excuse me if I mispronounce. But it's known as congenital hyperinsulinism. So that's where the pancreas overproduce insulin, so that causes hypo, so like extreme low blood sugars. Um, so I really started at the other end of the spectrum with my diabetes journey. So I had like constant hypos when I was born, and they not necessarily know what actually caused this condition. I was born premature, so that's what my name means. Khadija, it means born early. So I don't know
Uh,
whether it's due to
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
sorry.
I was telling you
Yeah.
before we started that my cousin, who's a type 1
Yeah.
diabetic, her name is Khadija.
Oh wow. Oh,
So
love that.
we're
Love
literally
that.
family.
Exactly. Hey, cousin. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, basically just due to the removal of my pancreas, that's kind of what made me have diabetes. So by the age of 9 years old is when they the doctors decided that I had to transition from like a general children's medication clinic to actual children's diabetic clinic. So since then, I've been living as like someone with type 1 diabetes, but as I say, just generically diabetic.
Okay. So when was your actual 95% of your pancreas actually removed?
That was when I was 4 months old. So that was it'll be coming up to 30 years. Oh my God, in December.
You were 4 months young.
Yes, yes, yeah, 4 months, yeah, yeah.
Look, just to think, because
Yeah.
you were already premature, you said, and then
Yes,
four
yeah.
months. So it's the entirety of your lifetime.
That's it, yeah,
Yeah, if we
literally.
consider like you coming into this world early and then
Hmm.
being diagnosed with or having your pancreas removed at 4 months. So
Yeah.
that's the entirety of your infancy.
Literally, yeah, yeah. So I'd not really known a life without checking my blood sugars, or as I say, it wasn't until I was 9 years old was when I actually started insulin injections. But basically, all my life I've just lived with the whole monitoring my blood sugars, and I was on a feeding tube, so that was to manage the hypos. So when they did remove the pancreas, they gave me a nasal feeding tube. So that just like fed me milk to just manage things. And then when I got to around age 2, that's when I switched to a stomach feeding tube. And then I had that up until around the age 8. And then that's when the transition went to, okay, she's going to need insulin now because we need to, manually like administer to make up for what's missing from the pancreatomy.
Right. So not only did you start all of like everything from day one, but you even started like adult medicine
Yeah.
early on at a young age.
Yeah.
Like everything was forced upon you to grow up very quick. Like it was
Yeah.
almost like meant for you to come to this earth in this world early, like to do everything
Yeah.
early.
That's
So
it.
look, when we talk about things such as it's hard for me to say this to you, Khadija, compared to other people, like when we talk about things such as like a cure,
Hmm.
it looks different
Yeah,
to you.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially with the studies that they've been doing, like currently, more recently, like it's on based more so based off of like stem cell research,
Hmm.
trying
Yes.
to like regenerate beta cells and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And for someone like yourself who doesn't have her
No.
pancreas,
Yeah.
there's nothing to regenerate.
That's it. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
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 So like usually like at the end of all these conversations, I talk to people about like what would you do on a
Hmm.
day that a cure is here.
Hmm.
So for you, I'm still going to have that conversation with you at
Yeah.
the end, but I
Yeah,
just
we
wanted
can
to
do.
I need to prep you for that now because it's
Yeah.
different. It looks a lot different for you.
Yeah. No,
Um,
definitely.
now, I'm trying to understand also how for 8.5 years or so you were able to go
Mhm.
without insulin.
Yeah. Again, that's something that I was also like trying to, now that I'm becoming more knowledgeable with the
Hmm.
condition, and I guess I'm trying to tap in more to what it is that caused the overproduction of my pancreas. But I think how I managed was basically the pancreas was still overproducing insulin, even with the 95% that they had actually taken away, the 5% that was remaining, it was still excreting a lot of insulin. So I guess that was still able to keep me afloat for those 8.5 years of my life. And then, as I say, when it got to like around 9 is where like they say like puberty. So like obviously your body changes and then the hormones and everything like that. So that's when there was like, okay, you're gonna have to take insulin injections. But I was only on like small doses back then, so that was like twice a day, so like the morning and night, and it was 2 units, and yeah, that was it. Just for that time up until, as I say, when this transitioned me over to a pump at age 16.
Right. So that was 30 years ago, 1994.
Yeah, yes, yeah, 1994, yeah.
1994 is when you were born. Or
Yes,
93.
August. Pardon?
August 94 you were born?
Yeah, August 10th, 94. Yeah.
August 10th, 94
Yeah.
by by Christmas.
Yeah, literally it was the 23rd of December. So I spent my first Christmas in hospital, spent the first 6 months of my life really in hospital. I did have like day release. It sounds like jail, but I had day release and stuff, like to visit family or whatever. But literally I was in that hospital. That was like my first home really.
It was, but it's great that you truly don't have any memory of that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you had your process into becoming what is a insulin dependent diabetic, type 1
Hmm.
diabetic, as I would say, just like myself.
Yeah.
Like it was just,
Yes.
it was, most people are like, they would give it away for anything in the world, but it was actually
Yeah.
gifted to you so that you can continue life. Like
Yeah, that's it.
really,
Yeah, it's a madness. I like the way you put that. I've never actually phrased it that way, but it's actually true. Very
yeah,
true.
yeah, it was, yeah,
Yeah,
to some people, like diabetes is the worst thing ever, like being diagnosed with insulin dependence. And I've had this
yeah,
conversation with so many people and they speak about that. But to know, and getting your story out there will help and benefit people. So like everyone won't just see it as the worst thing ever
yeah, that's true.
because it is also, I mean, we're talking 102 years since the first person was able to
Yeah.
take insulin. Insulin
Yeah.
was given to the first person 102 years ago. We're
Yeah.
talking yourself, who today needs insulin. And now that you
Mhm.
have insulin, now that you have become an insulin dependent diabetic for the last uh 21 plus years, like you have
Yeah.
some real good, like the numbers, like 21, like dang, you're really a grown up now.
Yeah,
But
literally.
yeah, 20 for the last 21 years,
Yeah.
like you were gifted, truly gifted this life,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's what you know.
Yeah.
But at the
That's
same
it.
time, like no one wants to live with diabetes, but the alternative of not living with it is not being here.
That's it. That's it.
It would
Literally.
it would actually date you back to 1921.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's crazy. Like I am so grateful with like the advancements in like the technology, like even from when I was like finger pricking and now I can scan and or it's just coming up on my phone as like a continuous monitor, like things like that. That whole journey that I've experienced myself is just been like a whirlwind. Like I'm so grateful, so grateful.
Right. And many people don't know this because they're all like their pancreas died out. Like you hear that so many times.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to someone previously about this, someone who I know who's a type 3C many
Hmm.
years ago. And they're like people, like I know type 3Cs, like sometimes that triggers them and gets you upset because
Yeah.
type 1 diabetics or anyone with insulin dependent diabetes who don't have that full function of their pancreas to secrete insulin from their beta cells, but we
Yeah.
do have the other enzymes that our
Yeah.
pancreas produces.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you not only have to get insulin, you also have to get these other enzymes.
Yes. Luckily, because as I say, I'm not a medical profession, but when I was under the care before I moved to the children's diabetic clinic, they was looking at administering like enzymes as well. So there was just monitoring my like my gastric area just to see obviously what was needed. But as I say, by the grace of God, they've not necessarily had to prescribe me any enzymes or anything like that. So not that they've gone back to check to see if everything's okay in my digestive system, but so far so good. It's only insulin that I've been like required to take, as in like to live. So I do know so the other person I know that has type 3C diabetes, she's had the whole of her pancreas removed, so she has that additional thing to take into consideration as well. And I'm just like, hats off, literally hats off to her, because I don't know how to manage both things at the same time as well, as just living day to day.
Right. I'm not going to mention her name
Yeah.
because I don't know if we're talking the same person, but
Yeah, yeah.
is she in California?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking about the same person then.
Yeah, yeah.
And yes, we have had these conversations in the past.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, I do consider you the same as me today.
Yeah.
Because I mean, literally, I know that my pancreas makes other enzymes that helps break down
Yeah.
digestion and all of those things. And I mean, you said you still have those things.
Yeah.
So, because my first thought was thinking like if you don't have these enzymes that helps with breaking down your digestion and things, I was
Mhm.
like, my first thought was gastroparesis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you encountered that?
No, as I
See,
said, like, literally, like the
that
grace of
tells us that those enzymes are still working.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, literally, like I don't know what that surgeon did, but it was amazing. Did an amazing job. Did what it needed to do. I guess.
Right. That
Yeah.
was an amazing surgeon. I need to find out who his name was,
Yeah.
what center that was.
You know.
Yeah, send someone
Yeah.
else his way. 30 years
Yeah.
later. I mean, considering today and advancements in technology and medicine
That's
and all of
it.
those things, he was able to do something, work a miracle then.
Literally.
Literally,
Yeah,
like, and
amazing.
it also makes me think, before the advent or the usage of man-made insulin, were there
Mhm.
other children, infants, young
That's
people
it. Yeah.
that also had a how we pronounce it,
Pancreatomy.
pancreatomy.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me think about that,
Yes.
because I do recall, like, research and studies stating, like, things they did, like, to research insulin, like
Hmm.
removing partial pancreases from like dogs,
Yeah, and pigs and stuff.
from,
Yeah.
yeah, pigs, canines, like they would do that, and that's how they were able to use this now man-made or beef and pork insulin to
Yeah.
see if it were to work. So it makes me think, like, back then, were there other infants like yourself? It had to have
That's
been.
it.
It had to have
Yeah,
been.
definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
And
As much as
that's
it's rare. Yeah, but I definitely think
great. And that's something that we don't ever hear about.
no.
Never. I'm sure you have more research and studies on, like, severe hypoglycemia than myself, even though, like, I suffer from severe hypoglycemia unawareness,
Uh,
where, like,
yeah.
I can't sense, like, when my blood sugar is really, like, dropping
Yeah. Oh
low,
God.
low.
Yeah.
And you were born with that.
Yeah. Yeah. With my issue, it's at night time. I don't know if it's the fact that I love my sleep, but it's literally I just sleep right through, and obviously it's more dangerous, I guess, because you're going in that deep state when you have the hypos. It's awful, but when I'm awake, as I say, I can sense it. I do get the signals and everything like that. Even my trusted Dexcom here keeps notifying me that I'm going low, but I've already treated it before this call anyway. But yeah,
Look, as I tell people, living with diabetes, especially insulin dependence, is a nonstop thing. It's not
literally,
24/7. It's not
yeah,
365 days. It's nonstop. Like,
yeah,
it's ongoing. It's a process that
yeah,
that we continue to learn about every waking day, every waking night.
yeah.
And no matter what we're doing, having this conversation right now, I'm sure is raising my blood sugar.
That's it. Yeah,
And it's just a
literally.
conversation, and anyone else who's listening to it, when they do tap into it, they're going to be like, how is this raising his blood sugar? He's just talking.
Yeah, but
It's a thing.
it's,
All of our hormones are affected by this, by our
yeah,
lack of insulin. Insulin
yeah,
is a
literally.
natural hormone that does help manage adrenaline.
Yeah,
So just having
yeah,
a fun filled
absolutely.
conversation with my cousin Khadija, my other cousin.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. So
Yeah, no, it's so taxing, and I guess it gets frustrating as well sometimes when you just like, can't I just enjoy this little piece, of my life, or can't I just have a bit of fun or whatever, and it just intrudes, and it's always at the most unprovoked timing as well. But
yeah,
yeah,
it just
but I
pops
guess
up on you and be like,
yeah,
diabetes.
yeah, like hey, it's me. That's literally how I feel
Don't
about
forget
the
about me.
notification. Yeah, literally. Literally, but I guess it's one of those things that we're just gonna have to put up with for the foreseeable.
For the foreseeable future. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And hopefully when a cure is here for me, it's here for you as well.
yeah,
Seriously. I believe I
yeah.
strongly believe in science, because if it wasn't for science, we wouldn't be here today.
That's it. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I do definitely agree. Like, even if it was a case of, because I said this to my mum at the time, I was like, couldn't they have just like give me a transplant or something? But I think her reasoning was like, because I was so young, and even probably the methods that they was using at the time, that probably wasn't even a thing. I guess probably now in modern day they'll probably use different methods to combat having to do a pancreatomy. I know that pancreatomy is like the last resort because they did do other steps before they got to the stage where they're like, okay, we're going to have to get rid of 95%. So like I was on steroids and all sorts, like a little trial and error type of thing. But again, nothing was working except for hacking it off. But yeah.
It makes me question. I wonder if have you ever had like a C-peptide test or an autoantibody test?
No, I haven't.
Uh,
But when I was speaking, have you?
yes.
Yeah, do you know? I don't know if I don't know if it's from where I am. They've not necessarily like offered or suggested it, but I guess I should look into it. But I do know that they do think it's like something in like your genes and your DNA, and just to obviously get everything checked out. But I've not actually had one yet.
Yeah, that's what it had me thinking about. Because I was like, you having insulin dependence today, and you've had it since you were 9 years old for the last 21 years. And when you even were talking about the other young lady, it made me think about it as well, that since you were 4 months old, you've um, been dealing with some sort of this. And it made me think,
Yes.
and at 9 years old, you were forced to start using insulin. So it made me
Yeah.
think like, did something this like, oh, like why all of a sudden at 9 years old did Khadija have to start using insulin?
Yeah.
Did it did her beta cells stop producing insulin just
Yeah.
like mine did? Because when
Yeah.
we think about like typical type 1 diagnosis, um, it does happen more often in young people, even though today in modern day, we know that it can happen. It happens to anyone at any given age. So yeah, that's made me think that like,
Yeah.
yeah, she was born with, in my head, I'm like, yeah, she was born with severe hypoglycemia. Um, at
Yeah.
4 months old, it was diagnosed. And from that day forward, moving
Yeah.
forward, she's had some sort of attack on her pancreas. So
Yeah.
what's saying that Khadija technically does not have type 1 diabetes? Because like you said, you haven't
That's
had the
true. No,
test.
it's a good point. Yeah. And what's funny is like I have raised it recently with my doctor. So at the moment I'm under like we have like the general practitioner and then we have a specialist like diabetes care, like a consultant. So I raised it with my general practitioner just to say, oh, you know, I had my pancreas removed 4 months old and from 8 years old I've not really had any checkups or check-ins regarding that, or whether the 5% is still producing insulin or what's going on with it. But I don't know if it's a case of they're not knowledgeable on my condition where I just kind of got fobbed off. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it was just a case of, oh, you're living now, you don't have any issues, you're not getting any pain where the surgery area was, so you should be fine. So that's kind of like how I've been like dealt with regarding that. So I will look into trying to push more though, because I am quite curious of what's going on there.
Right. So I'm going to look into it for you. I need to.
Yeah,
I'm going to figure out.
yeah,
I don't know if TrialNet is in the UK or if it's just here in the US, because
yeah,
TrialNet is an organization that a lot of people
right.
use here, where
Mm-hmm.
you can get your autoantibodies checked and it's free.
Ah,
Like they'll send you a kit,
okay.
they'll send you a kit, they'll do a
Yeah,
finger prick and back, and they'll
right.
contact you
That's
via
good.
phone call and let you know what autoantibodies you
Mm-hmm.
have.
I'll check as well, like to see if we have like either a UK version, because I know obviously under the NHS a lot of things are kind of backlogged and things, but I will look into that as well. But yeah,
Mhm.
no, thank you for that though.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that you have some autoantibodies. They had to have built up by now.
Yeah, I gotta tick that box.
hmm So I did just do a quick Google search, and I see TrialNet in Bristol. Um, Yeah,
Oh,
I see it in the UK.
okay, yeah. So yeah, that's further down south. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's
it
good to
says
know. Good
TrialNet
to
is an
know.
international network of leading academic institutions, endocrinologists, physicians, and scientists. Yep. So it says
So
that it's all
yeah,
over.
I'll
Yep.
definitely check. Thank you.
You're welcome. I did want to tap into some things. So you being diagnosed at such a young age, I know that being a child at
Mhm.
first it may have not affected you as much, but have you ever had that conversation with like your parents
Yeah, well,
to
because
see
go on, sorry.
like, I mean just to see like its effect, how did it affect them?
Um, well, I think with my condition, because obviously because I was premature and obviously my mum's kind of been like the main person like looking after me. And I think with that, because she likes to know things, so she researched. So when they was telling her all these congenital hyperinsulinism and throwing all these words, I think she just dived into like researching and finding things out. So I think as much as it was kind of scary to think, oh, this is what your child's going through, I think with her leading the educating herself rather than relying on doctors to say, oh, this is what we're doing to your child. I think that kind of put her at ease, so much so that she actually trained to be a nurse. So she currently works as a nurse at the moment. So I think my condition kind of influenced her to get into the care field.
Okay, so your mom not only knew she would be, I mean, knew she had to care for you, her baby,
Mhm.
and her growing child, but she also said, I don't want to just go off of like be
Yeah,
reactive. I need to be proactive in
yeah,
this.
that's it.
And you and this chronic health condition, like I said previously, like many people are like, this is the worst thing ever to have
Yeah.
occurred. But it was, I would never call it a blessing, but because, oh, heck no, like, oh,
Yeah.
never living with insulin dependence as we know it
Yeah.
today, especially
Mm-mm.
as an adults, we know it today, like, not at
Yeah.
all.
Mm-mm.
But, but it did help and assist and guide your mom into the journey that she's on today. And she's been continuing
That's
that
it.
journey for the last 20 plus years.
Yeah,
Like, like
that's it.
you helped her in that. She wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that her child had the best care possible. And where does that start? At home.
At home, yeah, absolutely. Like it's like I've got a free nurse, like a living
Mhm.
nurse at the moment. But yeah,
Right.
it's definitely amazing. Yeah.
Right. She wasn't only teaching you your ABCs, one, two, threes. She was teaching
Doing it
you
all.
about look, A1Cs.
Yeah, that
Like
literally like even I remember before, so like in the old children diabetic appointments, so they did do the HbA1c checks, but they also obviously just said, oh, how's your blood sugar doing? Like a quick chit chat. But she'd obviously lead that conversation. But she'd always like she'd either, in the Excel spreadsheet and record all my readings. So before the days of it'll get uploaded to a computer, she literally manually inputted my readings for like the past 3 months and like printed it off and said, okay, this is what her readings have been like, and you know, this is what I've done to change, or I've given her this unit of insulin. You know what I mean? Like she literally was so on the ball with things, so it was amazing.
look, and then I wonder how that is as an adult. Like I know
Oh,
it's different. Like you may be like, "Oh,
yeah,
mom, I'm okay. I
yeah,
got this," and she's like,
yeah.
that's not what this follow up says."
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
Right, right. So
definitely.
that transition in care is a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, okay, you could ease up because as well, because with she works in general medicine, so she gets all sorts of different types of patients, but she says the main condition that her patients have is diabetes. So she'll be coming home like, this patient at work, she had to get her foot amputated. You need to look after yourself. Like there's all these horror stories that she's seeing and she's thinking, oh gosh, if Khadija misses one like insulin dose, this is what she's going to end up with. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that extreme there.
Just be like, Mom, you taught me better than that.
Yeah, that's it. I know.
And then you shut the door and do whatever you do.
That's it.
Just know, Mom, if you ever listen to this, that no matter what Khadija does after hours,
Yeah.
that often throughout the day, throughout her lifetime, she's going to see things, she's going to hear things, she's going to sense things, and it's going to bring back all of the things the lessons that you've taught her and guided her with throughout her lifetime. It's like, it just sparks like, oh yeah, I remember.
Exactly.
So,
literally ingrained.
right. It is literally ingrained. That we spoke about your mom. How do you have like siblings or anything?
Yeah, my siblings actually they live over in the States, so they live in New York actually.
Okay.
So but I'm an only child to my mom.
Okay, so you have
Yeah.
siblings in the US. Have you been
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, I'm actually going there next week for 2 days to stop over because my cousin's getting married in the Dominican Republic. So I'm just a
Okay.
little pit stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have family all over.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Yeah.
Like we haven't even spoken about your nation of origin because I know it's not in the UK.
Oh no.
Hold on. Caribbean?
Yes, yeah.
What,
Jamaican.
Jamaican? Okay.
Yeah.
See? That
Yeah.
was look, and we haven't had this conversation.
What about you?
Oh, my family is just black. It's like
Like,
look, no, so I have I've done ancestry DNA,
yeah.
like considered 88% of African descent,
Yeah.
like all over Africa. But if you
Oh.
ask me, I'm 100% black.
Yeah,
I'm
that's it.
88% black by ancestry.com, but still 100% black.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I hear that.
Right. But do you have any other family history of any chronic health conditions?
Well, my grandma, so like my mum's mum, she has type 2 diabetes, and then her mum also had type 2 diabetes, sorry. So it's in the family, and like I say, even with my condition, my mum was already aware of what was required type of thing from having witnessed like her mum manage the condition and obviously her grandma. So yeah.
Right. Do you know if they were diagnosed like later on in life or?
Yeah, there was a reasonable age. I would say probably around mid 50s, around that time, they were diagnosed. Yeah.
Yeah. Being fully diagnosed with
Mm-hmm.
diabetes at 9 years old, you were in what, third grade?
Yes. Yeah. So like elementary school as you.
Elementary. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, say it how you would say it. Don't keep on.
Primary school.
Primary school. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was born in Germany.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh. So you're aware of the education.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called in Germany. It's not UK, so I don't know if they consider it primary school, but yeah.
Yeah.
My brother and sister went through some elementary school in Europe.
Oh, that's good. That's interesting.
It's interesting to them. I don't remember. We left, I was 2 years old.
Oh, I see.
So being diagnosed at 9 years old, you have a lot of memories ahead of that, of who you were and all of those things. But you also have history of having to continuously be hospitalized and have different surgeries and things like that. Were you in like a regular school before?
So like a normal it was like a faith school, so just regular for kids my age. So I didn't really, I've lived like a normal life, I would say, so to speak, obviously granted the extra, medical concerns, but I would say my childhood was pretty normal as well into my adolescence. Obviously there was things like, like kids' parties where they were like, oh, you can't have the cake, or bring it home to your mum and check it, you know what I mean, that type of thing. But I would say I didn't necessarily miss out on experiencing a childhood.
Look, that's great because
Yeah.
when I speak to people along this journey, it's usually like 50-50. Like
Hmm.
some will be like, I wasn't allowed or able to go to certain events, certain parties, certain
Yeah.
gatherings. And then some will be like, well, I went and then I wasn't able to like be
Hmm.
actively involved in it. And
Yeah.
it placed a heavy burden and on them and all of those things. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you were 9 years old, you were almost on the like cusp of like reaching puberty.
Yeah.
And how do you call when you became insulin dependent, that diagnosis? How long were you out of school for like a few days?
And also, what I remember is it was during like my regular children's diabetic appointment. So when I go to the clinic and I see a diabetic consultant, so they was already monitoring me, say like a few months prior. So it was, I think it was every month I used to go to them, and they were just like, when they check you, your weight and height, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, we need you to put on a bit more weight, da 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 da, or your blood sugars are creeping up a bit, so we're gonna have to get you on insulin injections. So I just remember it would just been in a regular doctor's appointment, and they mentioned, okay, by the way, you're gonna have to start doing insulin injections, but we're gonna start you off on a small dose, and it'll just be morning and evening. So my mum used to do my injections, but I just remember being absolutely petrified because I was scared of needles, ironically. Um, so the only time I had to encounter needles before that was the annual blood checks and before when I had my operations. So apart from that, I was like, obviously the finger pricks don't necessarily count, but actual injecting, I was like, no, that's not me. But yeah.
So are you telling me that one day you went to the doctor and and that day you began insulin and the next day you were back in school?
Yeah, literally, I could even say I was probably in school that same day, but it depends on what.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, literally, like I think because it was kind of eased in, like it was expected, like eventually this was going to be the end result.
But they didn't ease in giving you insulin, did they? It was like,
Well, I remember that, like what I remember is there was training the date, like to say, okay, this is how put the pen on and everything like that. But I would say that might have been the following appointment, maybe 2 weeks later, but it wasn't a case of, oh, we're gonna, have a few days off just to adjust because I think it was out of school hours when I'd have to do the insulin injections anyway. I think they didn't seem it as that important for me to miss any school, although it would have been a bonus.
I can't, I don't know how I'm going to get over this. Them thinking it wasn't important for you because we know that, I mean, you may have not had that sickness or been
Hmm.
in DKA, but
Yeah,
we know today that that's an option for you.
yeah,
We know that the usage of insulin comes with the highs and lows.
yeah, absolutely.
And that education sounds like it was missed at the beginning.
Yeah,
Like your mom, the first time she saw you have a severe like hypo, it probably like had her going crazy.
yeah, definitely,
Like that's a
definitely.
traumatic experience in itself.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I'm grateful that you didn't have to have this transitional process where you're a kid in school and then
yeah.
you're out of school for a week. And then while you're out of school, all of
Hmm.
your little classmates are talking about it.
Yeah.
Did you hear Khadija
Uh,
had diabetes?
yeah.
Khadija's not coming back. Where is she sick? Is she alive? Is she
Yeah.
dead? This and that. Like
Yeah.
those conversations weren't had.
Yeah.
And I mean, after you went and got lunch, you came back to school.
Yeah. Literally, like, gosh, it's
like,
back.
like literally, the kids had no clue.
Yeah. I think because how they understood my condition anyway, they thought I was already diabetic, although there was a kid at my school who had diabetes, so insulin injection and everything like that. And so they already had an understanding of what to expect. All I was saying was like, I'm not on insulin injections. I just check my blood sugar. But to put it simply to them, they just understood it as, oh, Khadija has diabetes, even though I hadn't actually been diagnosed with it.
Right. And there's been a bunch of firsts that have been said here. Now, tell me if this is a first. Have you ever considered like, oh, they just gave me LADA? Like,
Just say that again.
They just gave me LADA, like a late onset of diabetes,
Yeah.
like a long extended honeymoon.
Yeah.
Like that's what they literally gave you.
Yeah.
From 4 months to 9 years.
Basically, yeah. They were just biding its time.
Because I know people that experience long extended honeymoons that lasted 10, 12 years, where they may have not been using insulin in the beginning, and they would go for those annual visits, and then all of a sudden the doctor is like, you have to use insulin now. You're insulin dependent fully.
Yeah.
And they have had those auto antibody tests, and they have markers for type 1 diabetes. So like, yeah, you're first of many.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, that's a good way to put it, because I had not actually thought of it, in that way. But yeah, it definitely was a long couple of years of honeymoon period.
And you said it truly didn't affect you as a child?
No, not necessarily. As I say, it would just, like I said, I didn't like needles, so that was my only issue. But because it was only twice a day, I didn't necessarily have an issue with that per se. And I guess I was already living my life as a diabetic. So again, like with the whole heads up with the dietary requirements and like the sugar and, okay, you can't have this chocolate, can't have this cake, that type of thing. So I already had those restrictions in place.
So you had those restrictions in place before you began insulin?
Yeah, my mum being a knowledgeable woman.
So they treated you like you were a type 2 diabetic before?
Yeah, so you know what it was? I think back then, I don't know if it's like the information that they had available with the dietitian and things like that, but it was kind of a case of, okay, just beware of sugary foods and all this. And obviously my mum took that very much literally. Not to say like I was never allowed anything sugary or cakes or whatever, but it was just a case of, okay, yeah, Khadija, you can't take this sweet and just eat it. You're going to have to ask first, or do you know what I mean, to see if you can have this or whatever. So that was just normal.
At what age was it when you started being introduced into like you had to take a basal insulin and a bolus insulin?
That was age 16. So that's when I switched from just the manual injections to the pump. I think the doctors kind of learned at that time that I wasn't really a fan of injection insulin like at school. So at that point I was in high school. So I would have had to administer the insulin during the lunch times. And again, I didn't want, it's not very wise, so I wouldn't advise this, but I wasn't really doing what I should have been doing during that time. So they noticed obviously like my levels were higher than expected. And so there was like, okay, we can put you on this insulin pump, it's just the machine attached to you, press a button, blah, blah, blah. And you don't have to do the injections. So that's when they introduce obviously the whole bolus and basal and how they work it out and how to amend it and things like that. So yeah.
So for those first 7, 8 years, you still were doing those 2 shots a day?
Yes, I was still doing 2 shots. So that was
was that like a NPH? Do you know what kind of insulin that was?
Oh, it was, again, I probably pronounced it wrong.
It couldn't have been regular.
It was Humulin S.
Okay.
Or Humalog. I think it's also known as Humalog, but I think on the actual brand it was called Humulin S. So it was a short acting insulin. And then when I got to around, I would say probably like 13, they switched me to the Nova Rapid. And then I had so I had 2 injections now. I remember that it's coming back to me now. I had daytime insulin for my meals. Then I had the nighttime insulin, which
Okay,
was,
so you did have a basal.
yeah. But as I said, at that time, I wasn't really paying attention. I just took it as, oh, this is the nighttime insulin.
Right, because they had me thinking, I'm
Yeah.
like, how are you able to go with just taking
Yeah.
a bolus like a mealtime insulin? Like
Yeah.
you had to have been like slumped over most of your adolescent years. Like,
Yeah. No, it's coming back to me because I wasn't actually actively administering it, but now I remember what the individual insulins were for the meal one and the nighttime one. But that was only administered, as I say, later on. So when I was a teenager, they introduced like the background one,
so at
the
six,
basal.
not until you were 16 did you start giving yourself insulin?
No, I was, as I say, I was given insulin in the
Mhm.
morning. I'd say from, I think age 10, that's when I started doing it myself.
Okay.
But when it came to the fact of, when it's interrupting my school day, obviously that's for me to do. So that's when I wasn't necessarily actively giving it
You
myself,
weren't
if that
you
makes
weren't
sense.
diabetic at school.
Yeah, I
Just
was
tell me that.
between
Look,
the hours of 9 to 5.
I mean, the way that your journey has been pieced together, I mean, there was times when you were diabetic, you weren't diabetic,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
I mean, and you just went off of what the medical
that
people were telling you, like, so I mean,
that
even when you became like fully diabetic, like,
yeah,
okay, maybe I'm not today.
that's what I'm saying. I feel
Like,
like I think with the intensity of the whole journey, I think during that teenage period, I was just like, I need a break, so to speak. So as I say, I was missing injections or lunch. It was mainly lunchtime because when I was at home, I was with my mum, so she could see that I was giving insulin, if that makes sense. But it was mainly like the lunchtime ones I was missing. And when I went to the doctors, they were like, "Oh, your blood sugars are really high at lunchtime." And they're fine overnight, they're fine in the morning, but lunchtime. So they're like, you know what? We're gonna have to switch you to the pump. I think it's a regular thing with people in the adolescent years anyway. So I think now they're proper drumming home to get the pump anyway.
right, because when you think of being 12, 13, 14,
Mhm.
15, and just think of not having a chronic health condition, all
Yeah,
of the different hormones and obstacles and challenges that you have to go through
yeah,
individually as a peer to others, as a
yeah,
family member. Like there's so many different things that are changing within you. Like
yeah.
truly so many things that are being pulling you different ways, and so many, like you're really trying to
That's
find
it.
your way in the world. It's like
Yeah,
I call it's our coming of age story.
yes,
And you
definitely.
were truly coming of age. So now you're coming of age and you got to take insulin. So I tell
Yeah.
people, like when they tell me this, oh, I was a bad diabetic through my teen years. I'm like, no, you were not.
Mm-mm.
Just imagine anyone else.
Yeah.
There's people out there who were like, I mean, we may have done what we done, skipped out
Yeah.
on things, but there were some people who you're like, if they would have got this diabetes bag that I'm
Mm.
carrying, this heavy bag that's like the
Yeah.
heaviest thing ever on my back, and I'm aching.
Yeah.
Like if this was gifted to someone else,
Yeah. The
they
cat.
would not have survived
At
at
all.
all.
No,
At
it's
all.
true.
I mean, and that's probably like 90+% of
Yeah.
adolescence. Like
That's it.
like you've been living your whole life one way, and now you have to like do a full change up.
I know. Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. And like I think for me it was just like I just need a break. And I guess that lunch period at school was my safe haven.
Look, that was the social time.
Yeah, that literally,
Literally, I remember school and lunch. Like that
yeah.
was the best times.
Literally everything was happening. It's just like you miss 5 minutes, you tell you about 5 minutes. you missed the whole thing. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
And then that was a time when you probably would have had to go to like the nurse.
Yes, yeah. So they
Or
had like a little room. So I'd get I think like the benefit of the having diabetes was I got early lunch. So I got to go in first for my lunch. So I think that was the reason why they set that so I could, you know, get my food and also give insulin. But it's like the point where I have my friends there and obviously we're all sat down and it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to go, come back and then my food's cold. You know what I mean? It's like it just wasn't working out.
Mhm. Look, you had, I mean, you and your girls were probably at the table, like checking out everything, like,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, and you had to look, I mean, you're fit and everything,
Yeah.
like
It was
this is
just
when
long.
everybody gets to see me now.
Yeah, that's it. Literally, yeah.
Look,
So thank God for the pump.
but today, being the growing young lady that you are today,
Hmm.
what advice would you give to someone at that age in school with diabetes, even to yourself, like today?
Ooh.
What advice would you give to yourself on that?
Well, that is a good question. I would say it would be more to have confidence in yourself in the sense that part of the main reason why I was shying away from giving me like insulin was because I was like ashamed of having the diabetes. So if I had that confidence in myself to say like this is what I've got, and even though I may be different from my peers, it doesn't mean that I am less than. So that would be my advice, you know, to my younger self or even to somebody at that age as well. But again, it's just you can't necessarily just speak confidence into yourself. It's obviously like a process, but I would definitely say that.
I agree because Khadija, you were not less than any of your peers,
Oh, thanks.
even after going through so many different medical, even diagnosis, the traumas that do exist with that growing up. And I'm pretty sure once you started using insulin, there were other fears that came in place.
Yeah,
And just know like you had peers, like I said, other adolescents that, I mean, your friends and whatnot. So they equally were going through things that you may have not known.
that's it. Yeah, no, it's very true.
Like so
Very
many of our
true.
friends that we found out like years later into adulthood, into
Mhm.
adulthood, were going through some traumatic experiences that we equally would not have wanted to endure.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you've overcome a lot of that. Just laughing like I'm trying still. We we
Yeah,
we are, or
yeah,
it's not a your perfect thing at all.
yeah.
It never will be.
I know.
Like insulin in itself is not perfect.
That's it. Yeah,
Like seriously,
literally.
we went from secreting it from pigs and cows, and then it being genetically modified, the aura
Yeah,
DNA to create man-made insulin. And it's,
yeah,
how is it human insulin again?
yeah. But you know, it's
Like it makes you think
hilarious.
like how is it human insulin when it's not coming out of the human body? Like,
Yeah, that's it. It's madness.
but they call it human insulin. Like, okay,
Okay, then.
I'm just gonna let science be science.
Yeah. Keep me living.
Right. I mean, it's life altering, truly, truly.
Absolutely.
And you went through a journey from toddler or infancy, toddler, childhood, adolescence, all of those things. During what part of your life do you think that diabetes truly affected you the most?
Ooh. Um, I would say in the probably the most recent part of my life. So I say in the last 10 years, I would say, because that's when I was doing my studies, so like studying at university. And it's the thing with choosing looking after your diabetes over a deadline that's due. Do you know what I mean? And it's even when you're not having the energy to even like focus on your work and things like that. And again, diabetes is just interrupting and taking like status over, what you trying to get out of life and trying to better yourself. And I think as well, I've acknowledged in the last 10 years, like burnout. So at the time, I wasn't really aware that that's what I was going through with the disengaging with my actual condition. I was just kind of just coasting through and like, oh, it's whatever. But from like seeing on social media, like in the last, probably about 7 years, I'm realizing, oh, wait, I can relate to that. That's actually burnout. That's this. Do you know what I mean? But I would definitely say the impact has been detrimental probably in the last 10 years. So like since like 2014, even before 2012. Yeah.
I don't think I equally knew about burnout until social media.
Mm-hmm.
Social media does, it gives us an extra sense that sometimes I'm like, I wish it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like it's a sixth sense, like I mean, even today, like with insulin shortages and Eli Lilly and things like that, it makes you like you see it so often. And I mean, considering we've been living with this chronic health condition for 20 years, like 21 years, like both of us have been like 21 years, like seriously.
Yeah.
And we know that certain things do occur and things that we have to fight for, but now we're able to see it in front of our eyes. It's like directly in front of us, and it's on continuous repeat from, I mean, even from people that we admire in a community. It's like, wow, they're not able to get their insulin today.
That's it. Yeah.
And it's just like a clock. We're waiting for it to, like, it's going to occur.
Yeah.
To all of us. Like,
yeah, it's awful. Absolutely awful. Like even with me living over here with like the free NHS, which is a blessing, and I'm seeing like the cost of insulin over in the States. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, how can I get it for free, but you guys over there are having to pay or having to have insurance and all this? And I'm just like, it's the inequalities is crazy.
It's seriously crazy. Just the other day, so I recorded this short series for my podcast called A Few Minutes with Will. And the other day, I was at a bagel shop.
Yeah.
How do y'all say it over there? Oh, no, that's in France. They say crescents.
Oh, croissants.
So we say croissants.
Oh.
So my 10-year-old, he's in 4th grade.
Yeah.
And he wanted some croissants. So we went to this local bakery, and we're in line. And he says to me, he goes, Dad, you know, there's something that costs 83 cents here in the US to make that people with diabetes need to live. And it's being sold for upwards of $1,000. And I said, Joel, you know what that is, right? And he goes, insulin. And I'm like, it's crazy.
Wow. It's ridiculous. It's actually mad, especially when you break it down as well.
And I'm like, Joel, you know what that is, right? And he's like, yeah, you have to have it to live.
He's a smart kid.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, people have to pay for insulin. We're paying to live.
Yeah.
When air is free.
Yeah.
We all need air to live, right? We all need oxygen. Yeah. It's free. Blood. We all need blood, right? Flowing through our bodies, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
We all need the different neutrons and cells throughout our body, throughout our brain, like everything. Those are all free.
Yes.
Why does insulin cost? Like, at all?
It makes no sense.
Like 1 cent is too much for it.
Literally. Yeah. It's actually mind blowing. Like, when I think about as well, like the benefits and the privileges that I've had as well, is it's sorry, I think my grandma was behind the door, sorry. But yeah, when I think of like the privileges that I've had even to have access, and I'm knowing like people overseas that are having to portion the insulin. Like even I was in Jamaica a couple of years ago, and there was this homeless man that was basically asking for money for insulin. And again, that just broke my heart because I'm like, if no one was able to give you that money, how are you going to live? You know, to buy the insulin. It's like people are dying from not having this. And it's just a lot.
We're literally paying to die
Yeah.
because we're putting money towards something and it's not gifting us anything.
No.
Because whenever we don't have the money, we're struggling to live.
Yeah, that's it.
Like it's not even going into a system that's going to help us. Like even when we're on our last days and
Yeah.
we maybe in hospice or we need like burial plots and
Yeah.
funeral costs and expense and all of that, we're putting all this money to insulin.
Yeah.
Like it's not truly benefiting anything
No.
because we need it to live.
That's
The
it. Yeah.
manufacturers and the companies that produce it don't need it to live.
Yeah, it's just the greed. It's just this, if I could go on about
Right.
the
It
system,
should
but
be
yeah.
it should be a government federally funded program. Like
Yeah,
it should be sourced to all,
absolutely.
especially like, just think if at 4 months you were, or you had needed insulin, like
Yeah.
our friend,
Yeah.
imagine you needed it then. Would you have been rejected if your parents couldn't
That's
afford it?
it. That's it. Because I was thinking if I was born anywhere else, it could have been a different story.
Mhm. Or for like some of our elders who are
Mm-hmm.
insulin dependent, who have put so much into the economy, to the
Yeah.
infrastructure, to securing our freedom and rights and things of that nature. Are we going to tell them because they're at a certain age and they can't afford insulin that
Yeah.
they must die a painful, excruciating death?
No, it's
I
so
mean, we shouldn't have to
at
look
all.
for the funding to get insulin.
Yeah, it's
I don't
it's ridiculous. Like when I think about it, just like it doesn't make any sense,
any
like
sense.
at all,
Look,
at all.
it doesn't make any sense. But here in the US, you know what it makes? It makes
Sense.
it makes dollars.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah,
literally makes sense.
yeah. Literally, yeah.
Right.
It's actually mad.
And when we upon like diagnosis, um the thing that's shared most, or like the risk of complications from
Hmm.
diabetes. But as we age and get older, our greatest fear is not being able to access insulin.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a complication that we have no true like control over,
Yeah,
but it will play a mental toll on us forever.
definitely. And that's the thing. I feel like that's what a lot of people don't consider as well when it comes to say the discussion with diabetes. They're like, oh, you just have to inject but they're not thinking about the intricacies and obviously the cost and everything and the inequalities in itself.
I truly love like helping people, not only like in this conversation, but like I help people in like their management of their diabetes and things like that. Like
And
I'm trying to think like numbers wise. So I'm going to use your numbers. Okay. So
yeah.
my A1C has been between 5.6 and a 6.8 for the last
Wow.
almost 6 years now.
Wow.
Here in the US, that would be like a
Sorry.
5.0 to a 5.6.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. It cut out, but I got you. I got you.
Okay.
That's really good.
Right. So, I mean, I do whatever I can to help lessen the burden that is living with diabetes on everyone, whether it's having conversations,
Yeah.
sharing with me, like people share with me their their insulin doses and their
Mhm.
graphs and their trends, and I follow so many people on their like different apps, and I can
Yeah,
I help them just be better, and that
that's really
truly
good.
it has eradicated, like truly removed burnout from me.
Wow. No, that's
Like
amazing. That
yeah.
is really amazing. I feel like it's needed as well, just having that support system.
Yeah, so yeah, it truly has helped me with burnout and things like that. I did want to ask you
Mhm.
now, like today, you're an adult, and Khadija, we haven't had many conversations other than
Yeah.
conversations about being on this podcast.
Yeah.
Now, you did tell me from the jump, like you're very like nervous, you have high anxiety, but
Yeah.
Khadija, August 29th,
Mhm.
2023, where were you?
August 29th, 2023. That sounds like I was at a carnival. That definitely sounds
Yes,
like I was at a
yes,
carnival.
yes. So when we took our first break, I was like,
Yeah.
I hopped on Instagram. I was like, but I understand everything is not the same, right?
Yeah.
Right, right. So understood.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? I think it's just public speaking, even though it's not necessarily public, I just get that whole nerve and anxiety of doing and like, oh God, I'm a slip up or whatever.
You're
But
not
yeah.
going to slip up. You're good. You're good. Like this conversation has truly been enjoyable.
Oh,
Like
that's
you see
likewise.
how much like we're smiling, we're getting like
Mhm.
I mean family reunion at this at its finest.
Exactly.
Without your uncles over here yelling at each other while they're playing whatever board game, and
Yeah.
you remember when you were this little? Like, no,
Yeah.
please don't tell everyone
I
about what I
know.
did when I was little. Like
Oh gosh.
previously we were talking about like when it comes to medical expense and stuff like US versus UK. Is there any
Yeah.
or do you have any other questions regarding like US and UK as far as like medicine, doctor's visits, insurance, anything?
Yeah, I was intrigued about that. So it's just again like how does your diabetes care work? And again, yeah, with the insurance, like how do you manage that experience?
Um, so over the years, it has been different. Nothing
Right.
has nothing has remained constant. And I
Right.
don't know, like as people living with diabetes, insulin dependence at that, we do
Hmm.
need some things that are like constant within
Yeah.
us because just to think about how are we going to get this medication, how are we going to get these
Yeah.
supplies, it plays a heavy toll on us mentally to where a lot of
Absolutely.
people like give up. They like truly
Yeah.
people give up. You hear about it all the time here in the US. People saying, I'm
Yeah.
done with diabetes. I'm tired of it. And that goes into consideration with like speaking to customer service, like having
Yeah.
to report like things being inaccurate or things like devices falling off or like
Yeah.
it's the same. Um I remember being like 21 years old, working a job, thinking, okay, I'm putting all this money into health insurance.
Hmm.
Everything's fine. I'm good. Next thing I know, I go to get like some insulin or whatever, and it's like it's 900 and something dollars.
My gosh.
And I'm like, how? And they're like, oh, you have to look into the formulary details of your insurance,
My
what pharmaceutical companies covers certain things, and then you have to look at what actual pharmacy. You have to make sure
Yeah.
your doctor writes the script the right way. You get prior authorization for certain things.
God.
It's so much that truly goes into it.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people just many people do that here. They'll pay for like their medical expense at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. To get it
Like
covered.
I know some people who pay like upwards of $8,000 to $12,000 in January so that they won't have to worry about it throughout the year.
That's crazy.
And that cost does not benefit us. Like, we don't get tax write-offs on that.
Yeah,
It doesn't go
that's it. Yeah,
like it doesn't go towards my my pot or my plot when I do
yeah.
pass. And like, sheesh, I might just be sitting on someone's like mantle in a jar.
Oh gosh, no.
Like,
God forbid.
seriously, when you think about
Oh,
it, it's truly expensive. That's why
yeah.
most people, like a lot of people, they fight to get like government insurance, things such as here it's called Medicaid.
Right,
And
yeah, yeah.
that's only available to people that make under a certain amount of money. Like, and normally for like
Right.
individuals, like
Mhm.
most people can't afford it unless you have like a family and you don't work.
Yeah.
Like, say like a family of four, and
Right,
say like the mother and the father both work, and you have two children.
right.
If you make over a certain amount of money per month, which is still like considered like poverty level,
Hmm.
like you are not making a true living wage,
Wow.
that you won't qualify for that government insurance.
That's mad.
It is a lot. It's much. And I think this is the first conversation I've truly had where I've like broken that down.
Yeah, that's actually
Um,
crazy
yeah, the cost to live is equal to the cost to die here. Like,
when you put it like that as well. That's actually heartbreaking.
and I don't know why every year there's a fight for coverage of insulin. They're like, put a $35 cap on it, and it's always
Yeah,
like I'm pretty sure y'all always see it like show across like the news, and they're
yeah,
like, you see us at Legislative Hall and our
yeah,
different senators and government officials like
yeah,
fighting for this. And then there's people who are like, no, don't. I know it has to like bewilder y'all, and y'all are wondering like,
yeah.
why are people fighting against
That's it.
this?
That's it. Yeah,
Like,
it
do
makes no
they
sense.
do they truly not understand that they need this to live?
Exactly. Yeah, that's literally when I see it, I'm just like, it just seems so cruel. Do you know what I mean? The
It
fact that
is.
people would like vote against, like the free healthcare or anything like that. It's just, yeah, it's the mindset, I guess, of some people is so ignorant.
I mean, I don't know what to say to that. Like, why
Yeah.
would you vote against people being able to get insulin?
Yeah.
And that we're not even asking for it for free. We
Yeah.
asked for a $35 cap on it.
Yeah.
And that $35 cap is for just that one time of getting insulin.
Yeah.
Like, just think you still have another 11 months
That,
throughout the year.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah, yeah, the US, aka dog eat dog world.
literally.
So,
Literally.
in the
Gosh.
zombie apocalypse, us Americans here in the US are definitely going first. Yeah, like
Oh, God.
seriously, we will be.
Um, not you though.
Oh, I will be, because I will be gifting insulin and stuff to
Yeah.
people. Like, I already know.
Yeah.
I know who I am as a person.
Yeah.
I will risk it all for the next person.
Oh,
Like,
bless you.
seriously, and my family knows that. That's how
Yeah.
that's me, and they're
Oh,
not changed. No one's changing that.
yeah. Oh, bless.
It's just, I don't know. Like, I do want to ask. I got to transition off of that because you got to have me like, like the U.S. I love you, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I love us, but U.S. That's
Yeah.
a whole nother
That's it.
topic.
Yeah.
uh, I mean, our borders are secure. Yeah, we put up walls and stuff. That's different. um, Has diabetes, as you've grown and matured, affected your relationships?
Um, I don't think I would say it has impacted. I guess I kind of don't disclose it until like a certain point. You know, like I say with friendships, it's different because it's easier to just, nip it in the bud, like, oh, by the way, I've got this, guys, or whatever. But regarding like actual relationships, I would say, yeah, it depends on my level of comfort with the other person and like their understanding and openness to learn as well.
Their understanding and openness to learn.
Yeah.
Right. Because, but just think, Khadija, if you didn't have diabetes and
Yeah.
you were to meet someone with all of this stuff, like
That's it.
they're like, listen to my podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, literally educate.
I mean, literally, you're going to have this now. Like, you got this podcast card. Like, here,
Yeah.
tap into this episode, and you'll hear.
Yes.
If
And
you
then come back
can't,
to me.
yep. If you can't handle this, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's already there, and I'm not going to continue talking about it.
That's it.
I was talking to someone yesterday about that. How this gives people the opportunity who, like, many of our families still don't understand it.
Yeah.
They're like, you
Yeah.
got to take insulin for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And you have to take it more. Like, it's not just for food. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of them truly don't understand this. And this is going to give everyone who comes across this platform the ability to just share a link to family and friends.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
So
No.
that, I mean, so that they can get a more keen or better understanding of not only who you are as a person, but the steps it's taken to get you to where you are today and how they're continuing.
No, absolutely. That's why I'm like grateful, for this opportunity, and even with the other stories as well. Like it's just helping to spread awareness. And I think with this type of conversation, it's like easy to follow. Whereas I guess when you're looking on like health websites, there's a lot of like jargon and you're just like, well, I don't know what this means. Do you know what I mean? But whereas if it's broken down in this conversational setting, they can be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I understand why this person in my family has to do this. Do you know what I mean?
Right. It's an individual condition, but as a whole, like we all go through similar things.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And none of it is any jargon. Like like I don't need to sit here and break down to you how you can have the perfect basal and the incremental step. Like I don't need to tell you that at 1 a.m. in the morning, you must have had some kind of hormonal adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Did you have a nightmare at that time? Was Freddie chasing you, or like I don't have to tell you that, like when you go out on dates and you meet someone new, that your blood sugar is probably going to rise and spike because like not only of nerves and anxiety, but adrenaline and hormones, everything. Like I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to tell you like you just tried food at a new place.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know the carbs in that food either. Like serious. We just have a conversation so people can better understand who we are. Yes, we're people living with diabetes, but we're also people living.
Yeah, absolutely. We're more than the condition.
Great. So as we wrap up, I do want to ask you, I got like two more things on here.
Yeah.
First one I'm going to say, surprise me. Tell me or tell the community something about Khadija that we do not know.
Oh, that is a good one. Well, because I've not actually shared this, I actually do extra work as in like background. So like in films. So at the moment, there's a film due to be coming out, I think in November, on Netflix. So you'll be able to see, although you won't see my diabetic wear like my Libra or anything like that or a Dexcom, but you'll probably see me in the background. It's a war film and it's an American director. That's all I can say at the moment, and that's a surprise.
You let me know when it does drop because I'm going to support you, even if it's for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like there she go. You see?
Yeah, there was both.
I know that's her bun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in a film.
Yes,
That's
I have.
great.
Yeah.
Have you been in others?
I've been in other like TV shows that have been based in the UK. But yeah, I started that last year. I just wanted to do something different and also like gain extra money and meet new people. And I've had literally a blast doing it. But I've kind of kept it hush hush just until I usually wait until the film's released, but this one's like the biggest one. So I've not necessarily spoke about it much.
Oh, okay. You're like, this one's like the biggest one.
The biggest one for me.
Oh, you're about to be a star, huh?
Oh, I hope so.
You're about to be a star. Yeah, okay, okay. This is going to line you up for greatness. Yes, yes.
Well, I'm trying to get us out there. So once I go, then everyone else can come with me to the top.
Look, keep rising to the top. Not the blood sugars, though.
That's it. That's it.
Look, and you literally said top. Not top boys, though, right?
Oh no. But that would have been a good opportunity. If I'd have got into the extrovert back then, I guess I could have had the opportunity to be on there.
Right. That's a big series.
Yes, really good. Really good.
Right. So as we do wrap up, Khadija, I must ask you this, and I'll ask everyone this on this podcast. And we briefly spoke about it earlier, but it's different for you. I told you that it's kind of disheartening for me having to ask you this, because I truly think about like, and I'm a research giant guru. Like I love science. I love technology. I love that with the different advancements in medicine and things like that. And I know that they've been working on cures for type 1 diabetes that have been derived from stem cells and being able to basically implant cells that will help protect and grow beta cells. When I consider yourself someone who has 95% of their pancreas going, like it's gone. I'm like, today, if you woke up and you were fully cured with diabetes because of these cures, these things, hey, pup, chill. Look, because of these different things that are going on with science and medicine, biomedicine, bioengineering. I wouldn't be able to wake up and let you know that, because you would first have to get a pancreas transplant.
That's
and I've never thought about that, but I'm going to wipe all that from my mind right now. And I'm going to say, Khadija, if tomorrow you were to wake up and diabetes has been fully eradicated, it's cured 100%, not from stem cells, not from the regrowth of that, like just that magical unicorn came down and sprinkled its dust upon us and said, diabetes gone. What do you do?
Oof.
You are fully cured.
Fully cured.
Of this lifetime.
Wow. That's so mad, because obviously living with it for so long, it's like, what would I do on the day that, that I wouldn't have to? Oh, I literally, oh gosh, you put me on the spot here. First, I would be very thankful and grateful, first of all. And I guess I'd probably just continue living my life, but with more, I'd say, open drive. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no lagging of thinking of, oh, God, I need to check my blood sugar. Da, da, da. I would say I would still continue as I am, but again, with more motivation and drive to do better.
Motivation and drive to do better.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like I'm not trying to let the condition in itself hinder me. So now I'm thinking life without the condition would just be not having to do the admin stuff of managing the condition, if that makes sense. But if you take that away, I would still be me and I'll still be wanting to do what, like my goals would still be the same. And I would just be thinking, oh, I won't have that hindrance of, oh gosh, I've got to order this, I've got to check this sugar, I've got to, you know what I mean? Like do other things in the background, but it'll just be more freer.
Because this has been a lifetime journey for you.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
And I thank you, Khadija, for
Oh, thank you.
allowing us to brace this journey with you.
Oh, no, I
Because
appreciate the time.
your story is literally one of one.
Oh, no, thank you.
It is, and it's something that the community truly needs to hear because you are a gift. And in
Oh,
this presence, you've unwrapped so much.
oh, thank you. No, I appreciate it.
Thank
Really.
you. Truly thank you, Khadija, for joining me on the Chronically Will podcast, where we
Oh,
hold real conversations with community that need to be heard. And Khadija, you are someone that need to be heard.
thank you so much for having me. Well, I really appreciate this.
Thank you.